Welcome to the University of Greenwich and welcome to one of your first modules, Paradigms of Programming. But before we get into any of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, let me introduce the team. Welcome, I'm Andy Wicks. I've been in computing for an awfully long time. I started programming in the 1970s with a language called Fortran 4, and we were using punch cards. Now, you've probably never seen a punch card, but you can look them up on the internet. They were part of the original technology. After that, I stayed in programming. I started off with a degree in marketing, so obviously I went into programming, but the step wasn't actually that far. I liked statistics, and if you're doing statistics of markets, you need to be able to write computer programs to process those statistics. And so I got into programming in the days where you could just teach yourself and you read a book and that's it, you were a programmer. But unfortunately those days have now gone. Since then I've stayed in computing. I've been applying it to all sorts of different areas. I've worked in construction, politics, I've worked in education, and my qualifications tend to span all of those. But the thing that you need to know is that I quite understand that people would find programming difficult when they start. I taught for 34 years in a further education college. For those of you who don't know the British system, that's mainly for 16 to 18-year-olds who want to go to university but don't really have the qualifications to get there yet. Whilst I was there, I taught at the University of Greenwich as well. So I've actually been teaching at the University of Greenwich for the last 30 years-ish too. So I'm in a bit of an odd situation. My thing is getting people to understand that they can. I'm not interested in the can't. If you can't, I'll sort that out with you. That's not a problem. Can't can be solved quite easily. A much bigger problem is making sure that you know that you can. So I hope you'll touch me on the shoulder when you see me in the corridor and say, "Hi Andy, I'm whatever your name is, and I'm in your class. I'd love to talk to you." Thank you. So you're going to do a module called Paradigms of Programming. Well, most people know what programming is, but what's a paradigm? Well, think of it like a human language. If you speak Italian, say, then learning Spanish isn't that great a deal. If you speak Dutch, learning English or German isn't that great a deal. But learning Chinese, or one of the Chinese languages, for us would be. Most people understand programming, but what is paradigms of programming? Well, a paradigm is a different style of doing things. Think of it as a different language grouping in human languages. Italian and Spanish belong to the same language group. If you speak one, learning the other is relatively easy. English and any of the Chinese languages are totally different. They're different paradigms of spoken language. And in the same way, you have different paradigms of programming languages. In the beginning, it was just imperative languages. Do this! So you'd tell the computer exactly what to do step by step, and that would be it. Then things moved on and you had different styles evolving. We'll also cover object-oriented programming in this module, and functional programming, and logic programming, which is used for artificial intelligence. You'll do a bit of each in this course. The idea is to give you an idea of how programming languages in general work, and then you can start to worry about all the detail. Some people are good at learning, but you can't learn to program. It's not a case of remembering the commands and then being able to write code. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand what it is you're doing and then go away and apply the rules of that particular paradigm, that particular style, to the language that you're in. Most programmers program in half a dozen different languages, in different paradigms. The important thing is not the language. The important thing, the thing that you've really got to get the hang of, is the logic behind the way it works. And so we're hoping to give you that overview, that general understanding of how things work. Now, many of you will have done some programming in the past. We'll be doing things a little differently here. So even if you're new to programming, you're not at a great disadvantage. We'll be using Python for much of the course, then we'll move into Scheme and possibly into other languages as well. The main thing is, if you have a problem, ask. Don't be shy. This is not school, this is not college. Nobody is going to judge you because you didn't understand this bit. Try things, get it wrong. It doesn't matter. At school or college, if you got something wrong, someone would stand over you and say, "Oh, you got that wrong." That's not going to happen at university. You're expected to try things out, try new ideas, try new ways of working. And if it doesn't work, great, that just gets chalked up to experience. Having a problem is not a problem. Not solving the problem, that is much more of an issue. But please ask. We're here to help. We enjoy helping. That's why we teach. So, I look forward to seeing you, hopefully in person, but possibly just in the corridors or on video. Please feel free to get in contact.